Welcome to another Octoprint tutorial video. In this video I will show you how to add a filament runout sensor to your 3D printer controlled by Octoprint. If you don't have Octoprint installed, this tutorial will be irrelevant to you, but I highly recommend you install Octoprint so you can control your 3D printer, and if you are interested in doing that, I have a video about that. You can watch that video and then continue here. So, without further delay, let's begin. First of all, I want to demonstrate how this works. Currently I am printing a random file, just an XYZ test cube, and the filament is about to run out. And when it runs out, as you can see, it pauses the print and then moves the hot end to a safe location to make reloading easier and not damage the current 3D print. First of all, you will need a few parts to do this. You will need a micro switch. I will have a link to the one that I'm using in the description below. The other ones will probably work too, but they may not fit the filament sensor case that we will use in this tutorial. So if you can, use the one that I linked in the description. And the case that I mentioned is available on Thingiverse. It is by Muratan Araz. It is also linked in the description. Print this file before you begin the tutorial. You will also need some jumper Dupont cables. If you don't have any, I will also have links for those linked in the description below. So let's begin the tutorial. First of all, we need to choose those GPIO pins that we are going to use on the Raspberry Pi. To do this easily, you can go to pinout.xyz. Here you can see all the GPIO pins. We need a ground pin, a 3.3 volt pin, and a general purpose pin. We will select pin 39, 17 and 37 respectively for this tutorial. Now install the sensor into the 3D printed case, then wire VCC to the selected 3.3 volt pin, in our case pin 17, ground to ground, pin 39, and out to GPIO pin. Use female to female Dupont jumper cables for this, and if you need longer cables, don't chain multiple of these together, since this causes too much of a voltage drop to confuse the Raspberry Pi and fail. If you need a longer cable, cut these cables in half and then solder thicker wires between the connectors. We also need to download and install the Filament Sensor Reloaded plugin. You can also use the Enclosure plugin, but this video will only cover the Filament Sensor Reloaded one. To download it, open the settings, go to Plugin Manager, click Get More, and then search for Filament Sensor Reloaded. Click Install, and then make sure it is enabled, then reboot the Raspberry Pi by clicking this button. Lastly, the settings for Octoprint. Go to Filament Sensor Reloaded settings, select the GPIO pin you connected the sensor to, in our case pin 37. Choose Normally Open as switch type. Make sure board pin mode is board mode and the box labeled pause print when out of filament is checked. Now go to GCODE Scripts and enter these in the after print job is paused and before print job is resumed boxes. You can find these in the description below. It is linked in a paste bin link. If you want to know what these exactly do, you can look at the bottom of the file. I explained every command. Save all of these settings and test it by starting a 3D print with filament in the sensor, and after some time remove it or let it run out and see if it pauses and moves the hot end to a good location. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please leave a like. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will try to help you. If you are interested in other Octoprint tutorials, like turning your 3D printer on or off using a relay, check out the Octoprint tutorials playlist, which has a bunch of useful tutorials, and there will be even more soon. Thanks for watching.